in what ways do you stay engaged with your community? I know you've done some community outreach. So what have you been involved with?
So while I was at Nazareth in my early 20s, before I moved to Miami, I lived in Miami for 4 years. Um, I worked with a Horizon Enrichment program, which is based out of the Harley School here locally, which is a private school. So what the program did was we took about 300 to 500 inner city kids every summer for an 8 week program. Um, because what happens during the summertime is any kid, they're not going to read anymore. They're going to lose almost everything they gained the previous year because all they're focused on is just being outside and playing. So this program takes the inner cities kids to one of the most beautiful school campuses here, locally in Rochester, where high schoolers are paying 15,000 a year to attend. Just showing them that there's things outside the city walls, it's huge. When you see these kids, walk into such a beautiful campus, their eyes just glow. We teach them how to swim. Minorities are the number one victims of drowning because of the lack of pools in the inner city. So we teach them how to swim. We teach them how to garden, just to be more responsible. So they all go home and they, with their seeds and they plant them outside, and we see the progress. We teach them how to play tennis and just getting them involved in things that they wouldn't have exposure to in the inner city. I graduated from the program, and that's why I go back. I was actually one of the first classes that graduated. Um, I attended because it helped me with my English when I came from the Dominican Republic, and it was great. The exposures just to different things was amazing. So I wanted to give these kids the same opportunity that I have, just to tell them that there's other things out there that you can enjoy that doesn't have to be, within the city. So I enjoyed it. I also, in my early 20s, was helping migrants out in Wayne County do their banking. That's when I first started with, JP Morgan Chase. These individuals that, work in farms have tens of thousands of dollars under the mattresses because they don't trust banks regarding paperwork issues. Most of them were illegal. So Chase at the time had a great program that allowed them to still do their banking. And they had a great program that allowed them to send money free of charge to their families in the Dominican Republic. So I was involved in the community, connecting Chase to these individuals, um, and just making sure that they know that there's someone here locally that is willing to help them with their finances. So again, when I first started my company, I like helping others because there's not too many people that want to get out there and make a difference. Um, so I like to be, and that's the reason I opened the CBD company, is because I want to get out there and help. That's my main thing. I want to get involved, get my hands dirty like you girls are doing, and just try to make a difference.
What would you like to see from allies beyond social media? People are quick to share a post, but they got to do more than that. Get out in the streets. How do you feel? What do you think allies could do?
Get your hands dirty. Get off the couch. Stop commenting. Stop going on TikTok. Stop wasting time. The show will be there when you get back home. Um, there's a lot of individuals that, we know they wrap themselves social media. They share a post about something happening here locally that's making a difference. Don't just share the post. Go out and join them. That's the only way we're actually going to make an impact. Again, sharing information is great, but with so much false information out there, you're not 100% positive that information you're sharing is correct. So go out there, find a local, outreach center that you could join. There's a couple here locally, especially for the holiday season. Go to the soup kitchen, volunteer once or twice a week. It's going to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. I promise you, you're going to want to do it again. There's nothing better than seeing someone else smiles for something you do for them. That would change your whole views on life a lot more. Um, just get out there. Again, social media will be there. TV shows will be there. Time is not going to come back. And there's people out there that need us, need our help. Um, So yeah, get your hands dirty, go out, put smiles on people's faces. And if you could just make one difference a day, I guarantee you'll be very happy.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your story or your experience?
I mean, the good old American dream. Two parents that came here that, you know, my family came from extreme poverty. I remember nights where we didn't know what we're going to eat. We didn't know, how we're going to pay rent, and the struggles my, parents went through. And I'm not the only one that faces that. There's millions of people that, come to this country with a hope that things are going to be different from a country that they left. Um, but America is just making it so much more difficult for these people of color to just have a fair shot. There's a lot of programs that are looking to, make that a lot better, but with the political unrest happening and the marches, and it's a lot. I considered, moving to another country, because it was just too much. It's not a country where I saw myself living in. There was just so much hate in a country where everyone should love one another. We're a melting pot. Um, no matter where you go, no, in the States, you're going to see everyone from every single race. So we just got to get along, start working together. Let's start making a difference. An army of one is not going to do anything, but an army of a million will make some changes. And that's just what I want to tell everyone is, hey, we're in this together. We all live in the same earth, the same world. We're neighbors. So we ideally live in the same house. So let's stop arguing and let's start making a difference.
So what would you say to people that look at you and say, well, you did it, people can still achieve the American dream. They just gotta, pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
I've been fortunate. I'm not saying that, it is a combination of hard work. It is a combination of filtering things out that, personally is going to affect you in the wrong way. And if that's eliminating friendships, if that's eliminating, colleagues, not saying that it's not possible. It's just very hard. You have to stay dedicated. You have to stay your course. You have to find something you love. You can't get, sucked into what's on the news. You just have to have a mindset of you want to make a difference. You want to be better for your family and yourself. And again, you do have a shot here in America. You just have to take advantage of it. You just can't spend all day watching Netflix. You can't, watch Netflix and work on your side hustle. It's fine. That's fine. Multitask. But while you're young, you have the energy. Do it now. And that's all I got to say. It's doable. It's just harder for some more than others. Yeah, and having a stable household, two strong parents for me, that actually cared. There's a lot of single parent households that, it's a little bit tougher for them because they don't have either the father or the mother figure there to balance it out. So I think having a strong core at home, which I have, definitely helped me become, successful as I am today. So, teachers had a good relationship with my dad. They would call him almost daily. So my parents really cared about our, my siblings and myself well-being, which actually, pushed me into saying, you know what, I have a good core at home. I could take a little bit more risk because if I fall, I know who's there to catch me. So, but again, not many people are fortunate to have that.